2017, gas-producing companies and all related gas companies will now compulsorily contribute funds.
President Buhari signs into law 6 bills to accelerate service delivery and good governance.
Some marketers are still living on the bloods of fellow Nigerians, which is most unfortunate.
Fuel situation eases off in many parts of the country as the Department of Petroleum Resources seals more stations for sharp practices. Plus, federal government appoints governing boards for parastatals and agencies. And security agencies on the trail of fleeing prisoners following a jailbreak at Ikorepene prison. Thanks for joining us on NTA Network News. Compliment of the season to you all. I am Ronke Kolawole. Also reading tonight from Lagos Network Center is Ademola. Caleb Gochin will join us from Jos, while Ogochukuka Ona is standing by in Benin Network Center. President Muhammadu Buhari has formally signed into law 6 bills passed by the National Assembly aimed at enhancing effective service delivery and good governance in the country. The Senior Special Assistant to the President on National Assembly Matters, Senator Ita Enang, announced this while briefing newsmen after the brief signing ceremony held behind closed doors. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports that the president also granted audience to the governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike.
Amongst the bills assented to by President Muhammadu Buhari and now to be called Acts of the National Assembly include the FCT Appropriation Act, FCT Water Board Establishment Act, National Institute for Cancer Research and Treatment Establishment Act, as well as the Compulsory Treatment and Care for Victims of Gunshot Act. Others were Anti-Torture Act and the Niger Delta Development Commission Establishment Amendment Act 2017.
From the year 2017, gas-producing companies and all related gas companies will now compulsorily contribute funds to the Niger Delta Development Commission, thus diversifying the sources of funding the Niger Delta Development Commission.
The presidential aide also used the opportunity to react on the controversy surrounding the approval of $1 billion from the excess crude account by the National Economic Council for the containment of insurgency in the country, describing it as unnecessary.
Security crisis does not have bounds, does not know political parties, does not know region, and it is what comes around goes around.
Governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State, who also conferred with President Muhammadu Buhari on the security situation in his state, also clears the air regarding his position on the insurgency fund.
Even though for me it's illegal, for me it is. However, we're talking about fighting insurgency, and no right-thinking person in the country will say that you will not support the government in fighting against insurgency.
Also in the State House was the Group Managing Director of the NNPC, Dr. Maikanti Baru, who described the fuel crisis in the country as over.
I'm happy to report that we have tamed the monster that reared its head as a result of rumored price increase. So Nigerians should enjoy the new year.
He said all those responsible for the artificial fuel scarcity will be apprehended and appropriately dealt with. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the constitution of the governing boards of agencies and parastatals under some ministries, as well as the appointment of eminently qualified Nigerians to fill the board positions, numbering 209 chairmen and 1,258 members. The president considered the approval for the constitution of the boards as well as the appointment very necessary so as to provide a proper governance and oversight structure for government agencies and parastatals. The constitution of the boards with their appointments is a demonstration of these government efforts aimed at building strong institutions of governance and, by extension, improving the quality of policy formulation and supervision. A statement by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, says the appointments represent a substantial number of pending board appointments, while some more appointments are still being processed and will be released in due course. The appointments take immediate effect, and ministers are advised to inaugurate the boards after letters of appointments have been issued. For full list of the appointees, please go to our website www.nta.ng. The frustration being experienced by motorists in filling stations across the country is easing off, as our correspondent Lydia Sampson, who has been monitoring some filling stations in Abuja, says the narrative has changed.
Motorists in Abuja who hitherto spend endless hours on queue to fill their tanks recall the ordeal they have been through in the last 1 month. However, the good news many say is that the end of the scarcity is evidently in sight, with recent development at filling stations in the FCT. Most of the motorists testify of staying less than 40 minutes on queue.
I've been here 30 minutes now. In the next 5 minutes, I'll get my fuel. It has been bad. It has been hectic, especially for those traveling to the States.
The queue is a bit going down gently. So the queue is not as serious like yesterday and day for yesterday.
I've been here for like 30 minutes.
30 minutes?
Yeah.
So what would you say as a motorist? What is the situation generally today?
Well, it's better now. Actually, it's better compared to last week and early this week. So the NNPC boss has said before the end of the week that this weekend the queues will. So let's believe. So I'm hopeful.
Like most filling stations, I've started selling and the queues are not much.
Of course, it is a better day because I don't think I've been here for up to 20-30 minutes thereabouts, and I'm close to getting fuel. And if you look at the queue here, it's not as long as what you had like some few days ago. So I think I think we are going towards the right direction. So whatever is being done to bring up this improvement should be sustained.
While commending measures put in place to address the situation, motorists are keeping their fingers crossed, hoping this is the last time Nigerians will go through this harrowing ordeal. I'm standing right behind the last vehicle on this queue. 2 days ago, when the queue was longer, it should have been suicidal on my part to stand here because the horn of motorists alone wouldn't allow me. And of course, I wouldn't also see the end of the queue. So this, for motorists and for those of us reporting, is an indication that indeed there is improvement. But like the motorists here did say, there is the need for this improvement to be sustained. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
Thank you, Lydia. We are glad the narrative is changing. Following the directive by Senate President Bukola Saraki to the Committee on Petroleum Resources Downstream to suspend recess over fuel crisis, Senate spokesperson Aliyu Sabi Abdullahi says it is an indication that the legislators identify with the hardship experienced by the people. He stated this at a media briefing in Abuja.
Stood on the side of the people because as their representative, anything that touches them touches us. But we want to assure them that we're going to be on top of the situation.
Chairman Senate Committee on Petroleum Downstream, Kabiru Barafa, explains the rationale for the scheduled investigative hearing on Thursday, 4th January 2018, to be transmitted live.
Under counter allegations from NNPC, members of IPMAN, DAPMA, MOMA, letters flying all over the place. This one saying that we have enough stock. This one is saying that no, we have given you a sabotaging government, and all sorts of things. So we want the people to hear, and that is why the Senate President says that the hearing should be made live so that everybody can sit in his house and watch and judge what, who said what and who is saying, who is doing what.
Key players in the sector are expected at the hearing next week. Meanwhile, as part of his continuous effort to bring sanity In the current fuel crisis, the Department of Petroleum Resources in Sokoto State has sealed off 10 additional fuel stations for hoarding and selling the product above the official pump price. Dalhatu Abdullahi completes the story.
Officials of the Department of Petroleum Resources, led by the controller in charge of Sokoto Field Office, Muhammadu Dandere Makera, with the operations staff, have been going around filling stations in Sokoto to monitor the supply and sales of petroleum product to consumers. Apart from sealing off oil filling stations, the Department of Petroleum Resources also forced the sale of the product at official pump price to motorists. Commenting on the exercise, the controller, Department of Petroleum Resources, Sokoto Field Office, Muhammadu Dandere Makera, said the exercise will continue until all filling stations are selling the commodity on government-approved pump price of 145 naira per litre.
We'll catch them one after the other. And that's why we call on general public to always assist DPR. Let us know those stations so that as soon as we meet them selling at above government approved price, we call on DPR and definitely will be there and we'll work on them.
Some of the motorists interviewed commended the DPR for embarking on the exercise. They also described the current scarcity of petroleum experienced in the country as artificial, which is caused by some people, and called on government to do everything possible to end unwanted fuel scarcity in the country. In Sokoto, Dalhatu Abdullahi, NTA News.
As the countdown to the new year begins, passengers traveling from the break have appealed to relevant authorities to come to their aid over what they described as exploitative fare being charged by operators of long-distance vehicles which take off from Abuja to other parts of the country. Musa Abubakar has that report.
Jabi Park is amongst the park visited, and this is what it looks like 2 days to New Year. The place is deserted except for few passengers seen on board few vehicles. On the cooling effect, they bear their minds on the hike in transport fare.
Well, there is increment by about 20 to 30%.
For the Xmas, it used to be 17 Mina, Abuja Mina. But 2 weeks ago, that's even before Xmas, it was made 2,000 naira. And formerly it used to be when we're paying 17, we sit 3 in the middle. But now we sit 4 and we still have to pay 2,000 naira. It's crazy.
All of them, because of fuel, if you go to road, you go see Paja, but you come inside, and then they come inside park.
Because that crisis fuel, now you see the increased money for fuel. And because the money, why would they collect it for the passengers? You know, they reach to buy fuel and go transport, come back and pay the owners of the motor, or you driver, if in your own motor, can do something.
Motorists express hope that fuel supply to the Federal Capital Territory improves before the new year. Musa Abubakar, NTA News.
And to other news now, the head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Winifred Oyoita, has assured Nigerian workers of a better welfare packages in 2018, especially from the outcome of the Minimum Wage Committee. He disclosed this to Adebola Brooksley Sunday in an interview.
The tripartite committee was inaugurated by President Muhammadu Buhari in a bid to improve the living condition of Nigerian workers. Following questions on timeline of the committee, Mrs. Oyoita said there is no cause to worry.
Our chairman, Dr. Ama Peppel, will brief His Excellency on the timelines before it's made public. But I want to assure workers that this presidential committee is going to come out with a decision that is definitely going to be very, very favorable to all concerned.
Another issue the head of the civil service of the Federation talked about was that of salary arrears.
The Minister of Finance has commenced payment of the promotion arrears, salary arrears, and so on in the federal civil service.
On the court's injunction restraining some senior civil servants from writing their promotion exams, she said the issue has been resolved.
Those with seniority of 2015 to 2017, so they're going to do the promotion exam.
Mrs. Oyoita appealed to civil servants to ensure a total change of working approach in 2018 for higher productivity. Adebola, Brooklyn Sunday, NTA News.
Elsewhere, the executive and legislative arms of the Adamawa state government have passed a vote of confidence on President Muhammadu Buhari for faithfully implementing the 2017 budget to reflect on the needs of Nigerians. This was during the signing of the 2018 appropriation bill into law by the state governor, Mohammed Jubrila, in Yola, Adamawa State.
The Adamawa State House of Assembly had increased 15 billion naira to the earlier proposal of 162 billion naira presented to it by the executive. The signing of 177 billion naira 2018 budget by Governor Muhammad Umar Jibrila with India is an indication of government's commitment to commence implementation of the budget by 1st January 2018. Muhammad Jibrila promised to carry out more infrastructural and human developments for the growth of the state.
But most importantly, I would like to acknowledge and thank the people of Adamawa State for being with us, especially during the difficult times that we've going through.
This has affirmed the team spirit with which we began and run this government for a bigger and better Adamawa State.
Governor Muhammad Umar Jibrila used the forum to reiterate support for President Muhammadu Buhari to continue with his good work to the country.
Thank our President. I want to assure him once more, the entire government and the entire people of Adamawa State are behind him. And we don't even need him to come here during the campaign in 2019. We feel he has done so much for us. This is the time for paper.
In Yola, Rayanu Bala, NTA News.
And still on budget matters, Osun State Governor Rauf Aregbesola has presented the 2018 budget of 173.9 billion naira before the State House of Assembly for consideration and approval. Speaker, Osun House of Assembly says the legislature will give the budget necessary consideration. Tope Alabi has details.
The size of the 2018 budget estimates of Osun State presented by Governor Rauf Aregbesola, Christian budget of enduring legacy is 173.98 billion naira with an estimated recurrent expenditure of 85.1 billion naira and capital expenditure of 88.87 billion naira. The 2018 budget estimates is 16% higher with 27.8 billion naira when compared to 146.63 billion naira approved by the House in 2017. Governor Aregbesola said the budget was anchored on his administration resolve to create an enabling environment for the people of the state.
The 2018 budget is to consolidate all the various achievements we have recorded in the various sectors and subsectors of our economy in the last 7 years, and to leave an enduring legacy for the state.
Speaker Mr. Najim Salam, in his remarks, said the House will design ways to sit with all classes of people with due diligence to consider and pass the proposal within shortest time possible. In Osogbo, Tope Alabi, NTA News.
Ogochukwuka has the next set of reports from Benin. Compliments of the season to you, Ogochukwuka.
Compliments of the season, Ronke. Thank you for joining us. Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki has signed the 2018 appropriation bill into law. Elizabeth Owotoma reports.
The 2018 budget, christened Budget of Growth, presented to the House of Assembly, was originally 146 billion naira and later increased to 150 million naira. Governor Obaseki said it is the first time in the state that a budget is given assent before the beginning of the fiscal year. He assured that the budget will be utilized for the development of the state.
This is significant. It's a novelty, because we appropriated almost $1 billion naira, which we kept, to help us train and give skills to young men and women and match them with jobs as part of our program to create a minimum of 200,000 jobs.
Speaker, Edo State House of Assembly, Kabiru Ajeto, said the Parliament identified critical areas of growth and development, hence the increase in the agricultural and infrastructural sectors in the budget. The budget was presented to the House on the 20th of November this year. In Benin, Elizabeth Owotwoma, NTA News.
And to other matters now, some Nigerians who have tasted the bitter side of life in the quest for a better life have continued to campaign against illegal migration. They expressed when the state government received another set of returnees comprising 62 males and 14 females, including infants. Ivie Omori reports that a total of 1,827 Edo indigents have been brought back to the state since November.
With the news of returnees trooping into Benin City every week, parents and relatives have made their arrival point their abode, standing by, hopeful that their children who embarked on the deadly journey, many of whom they have lost contact with, will be in one of the batches. They come armed with photographs and awards for easy identification. It is indeed heartbreaking moments for those who are lucky to see their children who they feel would have died.
2 years plus now, we don't have it back. Whether she's still alive or not, I don't know.
The stories of the returnees' experience remain the same as they are still joining voices with the federal government in order to put an end to illegal migration.
If I should dream of Libya in my life, then I will ask for pastor to counsel me.
If you have anything doing, just be serious with it. Don't take it because I'm not fortunate to be in Europe.
In case if you say another person won't go, tell me no go back because Libya is not good.
On the path of the state government,
all hands are on deck to ensure that they are supported and rehabilitated.
More of them are expected in the country. In Benin, Ivie Omoyi, NTA News.
The news continues in Abuja as we rejoin Ronke.
Thank you, Ogochukuka. You're watching NTA Network News. Time now to take a short break. The news returns shortly. Stay with us.
Get an unfair advantage that puts you in front of everyone else. Be the first to have an immersive movie experience. 1,000 Naira equals 4 gigabytes. That's 60 hours of video content. With the power to broadcast yourself, the world is your stage. 2,500 Naira equals 12.5 gigabytes that lets you upload 200 hours of dance video. Join the data revolution. Get the unfair advantage powered by Glow Data Unmatched and enjoy fast internet like never before. Dial *777#.
The largest data network, Glow, grandmasters of data.
Wow, Chief Mike, how are you? Fine. I'm going to Sun office for the certification of my wheat flour.
Oh no, things have changed. Sun has simplified all its activities. You could have even stayed back in Kano and process all your papers online. Whoa.
With the efforts of Sun, the products of SMEs can now compete globally. Sun has put in place necessary machineries in support of the growth of SMEs. At highly subsidized charges, SMEs can now get their certification, laboratory testing of their products, as well as purchase of standards. Meanwhile, Sun is carrying out massive seizure of substandard goods in the market and have gotten legal backing to prosecute offenders, all to protect consumers and SMEs. Sun, improving life through standards.
Congratulations, happy golden jubilee.
The local organizing committee cordially invites the general public to the reception in honor of the Speaker, House of Representatives, His Excellency, Right Honorable Yakubu Dogara, on his 50th birthday. The reception will take place on Saturday, 30th December 2017. Venue, Government Secondary School, Bogoro Local Government Area of Bauchi State. Time, 10 o'clock in the morning. Come and celebrate a star, a symbol of unity, peace and progress, and a great leader. You are all welcome. Announcer, Mr. Joshua Luka, Chairman, Local Organizing Committee.
Oh, happy birthday to you, Mr. Speaker.
Whenever pain occurs, you want quick relief. Try Nurofen Express. It goes to the source of pain and gets to work in under 15 minutes. That's why Nurofen Express delivers fast and effective relief. Nurofen Express works at the source of pain. Fast.
Being a mom is great, but when your child has a fever, you don't know what to do. I trust Nurofen for Children to take care of my child's pain and fever.
Effective relief you can trust. The Petroleum Tankers Drivers of Liberian, in collaboration with Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, hereby wish Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari and all Nigerians a happy Yuletide celebration. In the spirit of celebration, please obey all traffic rules and regulations in order to assist everyone reach their destination freely and safely. Remember, use the seatbelt while driving and do not drive with worn out or expired tires to avoid accidents. Do not overspeed. Consideration of other road users is a religious obligation which everyone must observe. In case of any emergency, please call FRSC toll-free line 122. Happy New Year. This message is from the Petroleum Tankers Drivers of Liberian.
Do you know that the Nigerian police now operates in the best international practices of policing? Do you know that the Nigerian police has been restructured to be more accountable and responsive to all your security challenges? Now, what the police demand from you is your trust, your collaborative efforts by providing necessary information about criminals and their activities in your neighborhood. Be vigilant to achieve our creed as we promise. We shall police the country based on international core values of policing with integrity. We shall ensure that rule of law prevails in our actions and activities. We shall respect diversity, display courage, show compassion, and demonstrate professionalism. We shall operate within the principle of democratic policing. We shall shun corruption, and we shall make Nigeria safer and secured under the leadership of IGP Ibrahim Otum Idris.
Let the wind of change blowing across the country chase away crime for the benefit of our society. Yes, the Nigerian police says this change must come with peace and tranquility.
This message was brought to you by the Public Relations Department of the Nigerian Police Force.
Chewing gum neutralizes bad odor. It doesn't just disguise them, it gives you real minty breath.
Nivea combines its unique care with natural cocoa butter and vitamin E. For intensive nourishment that lasts. Glowing, radiant skin. Cocoa Butter Body Lotion from Nivea. Now say goodbye to dry skin with great Nivea specials this Harmattan.
You look awesome.
Thank you. Tell me, what have you been up to?
My dear, I walked down the road.
Ah.
Yeah.
Tell me about you now. I'm doing so well.
Seriously? Tell me, just me now.
Okay, so I'll tell you. Okay?
Excuse me, what was that now?
This is so much money.
So much what? Why did it become... Oh my God, I don't even want to mention it.
Tell you shouting.
Why won't I shout?
It's nothing bad.
Did you say it's nothing bad? Mr. Luka just found out that his son James was drowned at sea. And Mama Osaro too. Oh God, that poor woman. She was told that her daughter Nene was found on the streets of Italy, engaged in prostitution. But basically you just learned that. Don't tell me that. I'm really disappointed.
It's not what you think at all. What, you have to go, well, I have to go.
No, come back. Even Zainab, come, let me tell you.
No.
Don't be deceived. You could be the next victim of human trafficking or slavery. Don't fall for it.
This is a public service announcement brought to you by NTA.
Glad to know you're still watching NTA Network News. The federal government says it will not rest in continually reviewing and strengthening ongoing reforms in the agricultural sector until Nigeria regains its pride of place as a food exporting country. President Buhari, who stated this while receiving a high-powered delegation of APC stakeholders from Kebbi State, says beyond sufficiency and security, Nigeria must strive to become net exporter of food commodities. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has the rest of the story.
The stakeholders of the All Progressives Congress from Kebbi State were in the State House to formally inform President Muhammadu Buhari that sequel to the good policies of his administration, political leaders that matter in the land of equity have now abandoned the opposition PDP for the governing APC.
PDP, as it is known in Kebbi, has been neutralized. It has been neutralized arising from the fact that those that constitute the lifeline of the party in the state are all here before you to pledge their allegiance.
For President Buhari, the policies might be excellent, but unless their objectives are fully realized for the good of the nation, he will not be satisfied. On agriculture, for instance, he said, although the huge rice import bill had dropped significantly by more than 90%, it is not good enough by his expectations. The government and its relevant agencies, he said, will have to work harder until Nigeria start exporting food. The president described the return of farmers to their farmlands in the northeast with glaring results of high yields as a testimony to the relative peace that had been achieved. He promised that more would be done towards checking the mayhem of suicide attacks. President Buhari said efforts will also be intensified to reposition the educational and health sectors to compete with other global institutions. Kebbi State Governor Abubakar Atiku Bagudu, who led the delegation, said the APC family in Kebbi State is pleased with the giant strides recorded by the governing APC in securing the country, reviving the economy, and fighting corruption.
The successes recorded in security, one cannot imagine what kind of nation would be living in without all the efforts of the last 2.5 years. For a country, oil-producing country, to emerge from recession in so short a time, whereas countries that are even seemingly have stronger economies, Russia, Venezuela, Algeria, are still struggling to exit recession, shows the strength of leadership and successes that have been recorded.
Kebbi State now is APC. All that matter are actually now returned to APC because of the good work the governor and Mr. President are doing, especially in the area of peace and job creation, wealth creation, a lot of farming activities, and life is quite secure in Kebbi.
The delegation, comprising former Governor Saidu Dakin Gari of Kebbi State and other former PDP stalwarts, prayed for the quick recovery of the president's son, Yusuf. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
In the meantime, the senator representing Adamawa North at the National Assembly, Senator Binta Masi Garba, says she will work to ensure the victory of the APC at all levels at the 2019 general elections. She was speaking in Mubi during the distribution of vehicles to party secretariats in her zone as part of grassroots mobilization for the APC. Riyanu Bala reports.
Senator Binta Masi Garba presented 5 vehicles to the 5 local governments in the Adamawa North Senatorial Zone, as well as her campaign organization and the NURTW, among other organizations. Governor Muhammad Umar Jibrila, who made the presentation, commended her for the gesture and called on people of the zone to give the senator necessary support to achieve the task of contributing to the nation's development. He also appreciated the developmental effort of President Muhammad Buhari and the APC for the vision of transforming the country for the better. On her part, Senator Binta Masi Garba promised to work assiduously towards the victory of APC in the next general elections through grassroots mobilization. The Emir of Mubi, Abubakar Isa Amadou, and the beneficiaries of the vehicles thanked the senator for such a gesture and promised to give her the required support. In Yola, Rayanu Bala, NTA News.
Former footballer George Weah becomes the 25th president of Liberia after defeating his opponent Joseph Boakai in the just concluded presidential runoff in Liberia. Let's join Oyeyemi Ajayi for details.
Former football superstar George Weah has been declared winner of Liberia's presidential runoff after defeating Vice President Joseph Boakai in the first democratic transfer of power in decades following 2 devastating civil wars.
President was castigated in so many ways. They call him so many names. They call him, he is not educated, he is not competent. But this is the man that his dream come true. I'm too overblown and excited. George Weah, the president of Liberia.
Weah becomes the 25th president of Liberia and is set to replace the incumbent Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. The National Election Commission said Weah had won an insurmountable 61.5% of the vote, which was delayed several weeks after a legal challenge from Boakai. Next said that with 98.1% of all votes counted, Boakai had only secured 38.5% support.
Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has congratulated Mr. George Weah on his election as the president-elect of the Federal Republic of Liberia. In a statement by the special advisor to the President of Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, President Buhari commends the Liberian people on the peaceful conduct of the historic presidential runoff election, describing it as another plus on Africa's scoreboard. President Buhari also commended outgoing President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, under whose 12-year watch saw Liberia's transformation from a pariah state to a country doing remarkably well on many fronts, while wishing President-elect George Weah and Liberians a peaceful transition. President Buhari assured them of Nigeria's determination to sustain the current cordial relationship with Liberia. Similarly, the Archbishop of Enugu Ecclesiastical Province, taking on another report now, the Archbishop of Enugu Ecclesiastical Province Anglican Communion, Emmanuel Chukwuma, has donated bags of rice worth millions of naira to over 6,000 widows and the less privileged within Enugu metropolis. Amaka Owo has that report.
In his usual magnanimity, the Archbishop Enugu Ecclesiastical Province Anglican Communion, His Grace Most Reverend Emmanuel Chukwuma, thought it wise to better the lot of the downtrodden in society through distribution of bags of rice.
We must be ready to give out because it is a time to show kindness. It's a time to show concern. And the church must be a concerned church, a caring church.
Lamenting the level of poverty in the country, Mr. Paul Erine, who is also a benefactor of the program, attributed the poverty and unemployment rate in the country to corruption. He advised those in positions of authority to have a rethink.
This year, the number we're having is unbelievable, close to 6,000. We now have more than 3,500 in the last 4 years. It has gone double, and it's overwhelming, and we're overwhelmed. That shows the depth of poverty in our nation. And what our president is saying every day about corruption, nobody wants to be part of it.
Beneficiaries from charity expressed their gratitude to the church for reaching out to them. In Enugu, Amaka Owo, NTA News.
Time now to join Ademola in Lagos for more reports on the network news. Hello, Ademola.
Hello, Ronke. Good evening, and thanks for joining us in Lagos. In its quest to make life meaningful for people living with disability, the Lagos State Office for Disability Affairs is taking its advocacy to the grassroots. Annie Daniels reports that Dr. Awelenje Babatunde, General Manager of the agency, says the aim is to further disabuse the minds of people living with disability that charity and alms giving is the only way to make ends meet.
Awelenje Babatunde, while briefing the press on the agency's success story over the years, revealed that several persons living with disabilities have been employed into the Lagos State Civil Service. The agency has also created a platform for registering persons living with disabilities and legal cases made for them when the need arises.
After the registration, it is followed with the issuance of disability certificate, even with the blue badge. This is used to park on the disabled parking lot. Once it is displayed at the front dashboard of such person's vehicle, nobody can tow or deal with his or her vehicle.
Awelenje Babatunde further said that the agency in 2018 will organize a disability expo in order for the physically handicapped to showcase their amazing talents.
His Excellency, Mr. Akinwumi Body, has graciously approved the creation of coordinating offices of LASUDA into 5 divisions of the states, just to allow the Lagos State government to formulate and implement robust disability-related policy for persons living with disability in the state.
Presently, over 300 persons living with disabilities have been registered, and others are advised to utilize the opportunity so as to partake in the benefits that abound in the scheme. In Lagos, Annie Daniels, NTA News.
Lagos State, known as Center of Excellence, is gradually losing this status to filth. This is because most part of the metropolis is now littered with refuse. Imel Dori, who went around the city to find out what is responsible for this development, compiled this report.
The city of Lagos is gradually metamorphosing into a mega city of its designation. This effort is accompanied by huge developments in various sectors. However, in recent times, the city is taking a new turn, where all nook and cranny of the state is littered with uncleared refuse, with offensive smell. Most major roads, streets, and even bridges, especially in the mainland, have been decorated with heaps of refuse, constituting an environmental hazard. Some residents, however, attribute this situation to negligence and failure on the part of Lagos State Waste Management Authority, LOMA, to perform its duty.
When you ask them why are you not coming, they say the government is owing them.
I believe the local government officials passes this road every day and they see.
Others say attitude of some Lagosians towards waste disposal is worrisome. They express fear that if nothing is done to remedy the situation, outbreak of cholera may be imminent.
They cook food, they sell food. So all the flying people from there, they enter the food. And I call it for people now.
You see someone just, after they finish taking something, just straight on the ground, they feel they are done with it. But it litters, it clogs the drainage problem before you know it flooding.
Other residents say, in spite of paying for clearing of refuse under the Cleaner Lagos initiative, they are still living with heaps of refuse. They, however, suggested payment of fines as punishment for violators, in addition to increase public awareness and education on waste management by LOMA.
You're still watching NTA Network News. More reports ahead after this timeout. Stay with us.
The directives from the Senate President to the effect that members of the Senate Committee Downstream Petroleum Resources cut down their recess and resume to address the lingering fuel scarcity in the country. The committee hereby announces the following as schedules for the recall. All distinguished members of the committee are to carry out oversight of petroleum product supply and distribution in their respective senatorial zones from Saturday 30th December 2017 to Monday 1st January 2018. DPR zonal coordinators are expected to give maximum cooperation in the conduct of these exercises. Distinguished members of the Senate Committee are to arrive Abuja on Tuesday 2nd January 2018. Members of the committee led by the chairman will on Wednesday 3rd January 2018 carry out a tour on product distribution in and around Abuja and later hold a meeting with members of the committee to receive on-the-spot assessment of the various zones across the country. The meeting with the Minister of State Petroleum Resources, the GMD and other stakeholders will hold live on NTA on the 4th of January 2018 in Committee Room 221. Announcer, Senator Kabir Garba Marafa, CON, Chairman, Senate Committee, Petroleum Downstream.
Get an unfair advantage that puts you in front of everyone else. Be the first to have an immersive movie experience. 1,000 Naira equals 4 gigabytes. That's 60 hours of video content. With the power to broadcast yourself, the world is your stage. 2,500 Naira equals 12.5 gigabytes that lets you upload 200 hours of dance videos. Join the data revolution. Get the unfair advantage powered by Glow Data Unmatched and enjoy fast internet like never before. Dial *777#.
The largest data network, Glow, grandmasters of data.
Enjoy fruity goodness for every occasion with Five Alive. Now in new flavors and varieties.
Everyday air. Ordinary air. And then there's Tom Tom air. There's air, and then there's Tom Tom air. What are you breathing? New Tom Tom 5-piece pack. Season's greetings from FCMB, My Bank and I.
When we all share smiles, give happiness, and make moments, what a beautiful world we will build.
To more stories now. Residents of Ikorepene and its environs have been assured of adequate security despite the recent jailbreak at the Ikorepene prison. Controller of Prisons, Akwa Ibom State, Alex Odita, says all security agencies in the state are collaborating to recapture the fleeing inmates as directed by the Controller General of Prisons. Imo Etimodo completes the story.
On December 27, 2017, 47 inmates of the Ikorepene prison escaped from jail. Out of the number, 14 were recaptured while 4 lost their lives.
So while they were having their recreational activities, some of them found their way in the kitchen, went into the store, took away the machete and the axe, and they used it to break the attack gates or vehicles that bring in materials for the prisoners.
However, the prison authorities have assured members of the public that the situation is under control as other sister security agencies are collaborating with the prisons in order to recapture the jailbreakers.
We're not sleeping. Our men are also searching for them.
The capacity of Ikorepene prison is 400, but it is presently accommodating 831 inmates, more than 70% of which are said to be awaiting trial. Meanwhile, The Controller General of Prisons, Jafaru Ahmed, has set up an investigation team on the Ikorekwene jailbreak. In Uyo, Imo Etimodo, NTA News.
Going over now to Jos Network Center with Caleb as our guide. Hello, Caleb.
Hello, Ronke. Welcome to Jos. Hello, Ronke. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai, has pledged to give utmost priority to the welfare of Nigerian troops and their families to enhance their efficiency. He said this during the commissioning and inspection of projects at the 3 Armored Division of the Nigerian Army, Maxwell Kobe Cantonment, Rukuba. Rinret Lot reports.
The Chief of Army Staff, represented by Chief of Logistics Army, Major General Emmanuel Kabuk, commissioned various projects at the headquarters complex, which are the 1 million litre capacity water tanks, 450,000 litre overhead tanks, to ease years of water shortage being experienced in the barracks.
Water, it is said, is life. Having water flowing after about 10 to 15 years, it's a very big achievement. No wonder the barracks community have all come out to welcome the Chief of Army Staff.
Other projects are the main gates to the barracks, parking lot, refurbished vehicles and rifles, the Rhino Fire Station and the 82 Battalion Headquarters Complex, which housed a computer room, conference room, among others. Major General Kabu commissioned the Rhino Soldiers Club, which serves as the officers' social relaxation spot.
I pledge to give the necessary support and encouragement within the limit of available resources to sustain this level of welfare, to enhance your efficiency in the discharge of your constitutional roles.
The Army Chief thereafter promised to give officers and men of the Army every support needed to sustain their morale for optimal productivity. From Maxwell Kobe Cantonment, Rinret Lot, NTA News.
Religious leaders in Plateau State have stressed the need for citizens to propagate the message of peace and tolerance and respect one another for sustainable peace and development in the state and the nation at large. Priscilla Grumnan completes the report.
Catholic Archbishop of Jos, Most Reverend Ignatius Kaigama, Sheikh Musa Suleiman and Reverend Yakubu Pam are few amongst the religious leaders who have admitted that 2017, no doubt, has been full of challenges for Nigerians, but we are quick to note that the year was also relatively peaceful.
In fact, we should invest heavily. Our budget should propose huge amounts in ensuring that the herdsmen are well situated, that they have all that they need in order to grow their animals. And the farmers should have, good agricultural tools and implements, and the fertilizer they need early enough, and be assisted with loan facilities so that they can grow better crops.
Whatever will divide us, which I know, the factors of divisions will be coming in as we are entering into 2018. They will come in form of politics, they will come in form of tribal sentiment, and they will come in form of religion. But we know that unity is essential.
Living in an era desperately in need of peace, friendship and solidarity for peaceful coexistence and sustainable development, the clerics call on citizens not to engage in actions capable of undermining the unity and progress the nation has so far gained. In Jos, Priscilla Grumnan, NTA News.
That's it from Jos. Let's have more from Ronke.
Thank you, Caleb. And still to come, sports and weather. Join us again.
As the plot thickens, will Jurgen Klopp's Noble Reds end the year on a high? Or will Claude Puel's Foxes snatch up some well-deserved points in their attempt to ascend the table? The world's most wanted league, Liverpool versus Leicester City. Saturday, 30 December on Kwese Free Sports for the Fan.
The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, is working to ensure access to safe, good quality essential medicines with the World Health Organization pre-qualification of made in Nigeria pharmaceutical products, stiffer penalties for fake drug offenders with a review of NAFDAC laws, national, regional, and international collaborations, cutting-edge technologies, including the mobile authentication service.
For the last 24 years, NAFDAC has made steady progress in ensuring that the health of the nation is protected. Our collective responsibility is eliminating substandard, falsified, and unsafe drugs, medical devices, foods, and water.
I urge all Nigerians to support NAFDAC in safeguarding our health. God bless Nigeria.
Let us support NAFDAC to win the war against fake drugs and other unwholesome regulated products. NAFDAC, safeguarding the health of the nation.
Time for sports update with Ayodeji Makinde.